How was the London Underground built? The first line of London's Underground, the earliest underground railroad in the world, was opened in 1863, before electricity, cars, or any of the other conveniences we associate with modernity. You could say that the tube was born with the construction of the world's first under-river tunnel, the Thames Tunnel. The Thames Tunnel is a tunnel beneath the River Thames in London, connecting Rotherhithe and Wapping. It measures 35 feet, 11 meters, wide by 20 feet, 6 meters, high and is 1,300 feet, 396 meters, long, running at a depth of 75 feet, 23 meters, below the river surface measured at high tide. It is the first tunnel known to have been constructed successfully underneath the navigable river and was built between 1825 and 1843 by Marc Brunel and his son Isambard using the tunnelling shield newly invented by the elder Brunel and Thomas Cochrane. The tunnel was originally designed for horse-drawn carriages, but was mainly used by pedestrians and became a tourist attraction. In 1869 it was converted into a railway tunnel for use by the East London Line which, since 2010, is part of the London Overground Railway network under the ownership of Transport for London. Following 3 years of hugely difficult work, an impressive feat for the time. When 38,000 people climbed into the trains on that first day, some of the carriages didn't even have a roof, and they were still pulled by steam engines. This meant that the smoke was at times overwhelming, and gas lamps were still used for lighting in corridors and stations. They ran out of money though, so to begin with it just opened as an attraction for pedestrians. On the first day, 50,000 people walked through the tunnel. By the end of the first 3 months, 1 million people, that was half of the population of London at the time, passed through, making it the most successful visitor attraction in the world. In 1805–09 a group of Cornish miners, including Richard Trevithick, tried to dig a tunnel farther upriver between Rotherhithe and Wapping, Limehouse, but failed because of the difficult conditions of the ground. The Cornish miners were used to hard rock and did not modify their methods for soft clay and quicksand. This Thames Archway project was abandoned after the initial pilot tunnel, a driftway, flooded twice when 1,000 feet, 305 meters, of a total of 1,200 feet, 366 meters, had been dug. It only measured 2 to 3 feet by 5 feet, 61 to 91 centimeters by 1.5 meters, and was intended as the drain for a larger tunnel for passenger use. The failure of the Thames Archway project led engineers to conclude that an underground tunnel is impracticable. However, the Anglo-French engineer Marc Brunel refused to accept this conclusion. In 1814 he proposed to Emperor Alexander I of Russia a plan to build a tunnel under the River Neva in St. Petersburg. This scheme was turned down, a bridge was built instead, but Brunel continued to develop ideas for new methods of tunneling. Brunel patented the tunnelling shield, a revolutionary advance in tunnelling technology, in January 1818. In 1823 Brunel produced a plan for a tunnel between Rotherhithe and Wapping, which would be dug using his new shield. Financing was soon found from private investors, including the Duke of Wellington, and a Thames Tunnel Company was formed in 1824, the project beginning in February 1825. The first step was the construction of a large shaft on the south bank at Rotherhithe, 150 feet, 46 meters, back from the riverbank. It was dug by assembling an iron ring 50 feet, 15 meters, in diameter above ground. A brick wall 40 feet, 12 meters, high and 3 feet, 91 centimeters, thick was built on top of this, with a powerful steam engine surmounting it to drive the excavation's pumps. The whole apparatus was estimated to weigh 1,000 tons. The soil below the ring's sharp lower edge was removed manually by Brunel's workers. The whole shaft thus gradually sank under its own weight, slicing through the soft ground rather like an enormous pastry cutter. The shaft became stuck at one point during its sinking as the pressure of the earth around it held it firmly in position. Extra weight was required to make it continue its descent. 50,000 bricks were added as temporary weights. It was realized that the problem was caused because the shaft sides were parallel. Years later, when the Wapping shaft was built, it was slightly wider at the bottom than the top. This non-cylindrical tapering design ensured it did not get stuck. By November 1825 the Rotherhithe shaft was in place and tunnelling work could begin. The tunnelling shield, built at Henry Maudsley's Lambeth Works and assembled in the Rotherhithe shaft, was the key to Brunel's construction of the Thames Tunnel. Lots of changes are happening underground in London as part of a big project called Crossrail. Huge machines have been tunnelling under the ground in London to build a new rail track for the tubes there. The London Underground is one of the oldest and biggest underground railway networks in the world, and more than 4 million people use it every day. The new Crossrail project is Europe's biggest underground construction project, and the first completely new tube line to be built in nearly 50 years. So, we decided to dig out some more fun facts you might not know about the tube. Please watch our next Part 3 video for the Crossrail project, Elizabeth Line, and how it was get built. Thank you for watching our videos. Please subscribe into our channel The Underground Wonders for more interesting videos. Thank you.